What is going on, everybody? It is Mr. Banks coming at you live with another trade recap. Now, guys, what I hope to accomplish with this series is to really break down the market as simply as possible so even the most least experienced trader can start to understand these concepts. Granted, there are many other things and many other indicators that you can use and should use, and I do use, but the goal of this is to break down how the market structure works from day to day and how to simply find those support, resistance, supply and demand zones and trends in order to take trades, right? Because at the end of the day, the bigger picture, it is very simple. So obviously while we're trading in itself, it's not, but overall, look, if you have your levels, it always tends to follow them. And we always look at ourselves and say, we should have just followed our levels. So now let's get started. Today, we took some puts right off the bat. What was I looking at? So today I took SPY 292 puts, as well as the Qs 296 puts off of the 298 rejection. Now, what was I looking at? Why did I take it so early in the day? Great questions. Let's answer them. What I was looking at was that beginning of the day, right, 394, 394, this was a very major level that SPY kept bouncing off of. It showed it was a buy demand zone for a while. We can take a look, we bounced off of it here pretty much all week, bounced off of it here, showed it was strong support again, right here. Look at this, very, very support, very good demand, but we saw that demand was falling and there was no buy support anymore. So beginning of the day, we started to look droopy. I saw 394. You can say 390, 375, but we don't need to be exact right now. 394, I was looking for a break. If it could not get above that or could not, get back above 394 here, I knew it was a wrap and we should take the puts. So along with that, what else was I looking at? So to recap on SPY itself, I saw that 394 was a very strong support. It was a very strong demand zone that was very weak and breaking down. On top of that, let's take a look. I was looking at SQQ, the SQs. It is a short inverse of the Qs, which is a tech sector ETF that is highly, we know that SPY is heavily weighted with tech. So looking at the inverse of the Qs, what was I looking at today? Today was pretty simple. Let me bring it to a bigger picture for you. I saw that the SQs was very bullish, right? We had some volume coming in, some buy volume, and we saw that we were breaking out. We retested, we held, and we saw that we wanted to break out. So with this bullishness, even in the pre-market, we started breaking out. With this bullishness, we know it's the inverse of the Qs, and the Qs are heavily weighted, and tech is heavily weighted within SPY. Let's look at what the Qs were doing. And what you'll come to find out is that the Qs were doing the same thing as SPY, right? They're very similar, trade very similar. Same thing, 298 was the level. I first had my focus on SPY. After that, I knew 298 was this major level, right? 298, major level. Same thing, we could go back, just like on SPY was 394. 298 was a major level, right? Got bought up. It was a nice demand zone that was breaking down. Let's go back here. Again, at open, we saw that we were breaking down. I wanted to take puts off of the rejection. So I was in SPY, right, in these beginning moments of the day. And I said, okay, pre-market low, we knew that 298 was the level. If I cannot get above 298, since we broke down, we're in a bearish trend. If I cannot get above 298, we're going to reject. And now we know we should always know that we are going to, if we come back and test it, we can always get a slight rejection if there's not crazy volume coming in. For this purposes, yeah, I was just looking for the 298 reject because I saw it broke down. This was the low. I know 298 used to be a support, turn resistance. So if we could not get back above that after this bearish little trend that we saw at the very beginning move, I knew that we needed to take puts, right? So Took the 296s. I like to stay close to in the money. I took the 296s, 392s on SPY, and we wrote them down. So now let's recap real quick. What was going on today? What was going through my head? So looking at SPY, I saw that 394 was a major level. 394 was breaking down, being bearish. Took puts off of that. I was also looking at the SQs, the inverse of the Qs. I was seeing that they were very bullish for the day. So if they're bullish, the Qs and SPY will be bearish. We were breaking out, and as we were turning bullish, we saw the Qs turning down, and result helped SPY turn down, right? So here's the Qs turning down as SQQ is going up. We could not get above. The SQ stayed bullish, and then we rejected for a nice drawdown on the day. Now, we could also follow the trend line, right? We had a nice trend that formed at the very beginning of the day. It followed it, right? We came down, retested it. So guys, as long as we're in a bearish trend or whatever trend we're in, for bearish, every single retest, we can be a reject until we break, take puts on it. For the bullish trend, go buy the bounces, right? So it'll just be the opposite. So think about this as bullish, this would be a bounce, right? So we buy the bounce for calls. Since this is bearish, we buy the puts off the rejection until it breaks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. That was what was going through my head. Please start to look at these major, supply and demand zones. Where are these major support and resistance zones, guys, right? Just take a step back. Look at the bigger time frame. So if you take a look again on SPY, I even went to the 10-minute, very simple, but we can go even bigger. Let's go to the 30-minute. 30 minutes shows it even more, right? We have this big area. We saw, this is 393. We saw that 394 area was a major area. And then as we breaking down, we could take the puts. Hope this helps. Hope this works. I'll be making more. Like I said, I hope to do this every single day. Make it as simple as possible for you guys. Sometimes I'll probably add in the other indicators just to show you guys some new stuff. But for right now, let's try to keep it as simple. Try to make sure you guys can find good entries and be able to find support, resistance, supply and demand in order to be confident in these levels and take these big moves. Because guys, we want to take big moves. We don't want to take, the range, right? We don't want to take these, small moves. We want to take the big moves. That's where the money is. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good night. I'll see you in the morning, Wolves. I'm out.